by sense organs. He could not create a heaven which will be seen only by the other sense organs, not by this sense. Vishwamitra created a heaven for that Trishanku. What was that heaven? Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apah, Prithvi. He could not create another sixth element. Understand this. Therefore, when I can't invent my own pramanas, how can you invent Apaurushaya Pramana? Therefore, Apaurushaya Pramana does not mean not written by a Purusha. Apaurushaya Pramana means it is a Pramanam that deals with subject matters which are not dealt with by my Pramanas. And that is Anadi. How the Jagat is Anadi, Veda is also Anadi. That knowledge is Anadi. Thus, we have Veda dealing with two topics called Karma Kanda, and then the other topic is Jnana Kanda. There are two topics. You will come across, there is a problem in the north especially. In the Veda, there is something called Samhita. To begin with, there is the first portion is called Samhita. Then Brahmana. All rituals वगैरह called Brahmana. Then Aranyakas. Then Upanishads. This is how we have divided. There are Samhitas, then Brahmanas, then Aranyakas, then Upanishads. Some of the people in the north, called Arya Samaja, there is Arya Samaja. They don't accept Brahmanas. They don't accept Aranyakas. They don't accept Upanishads. They think, even if they are there in the Veda, they are all nothing but explanation of. They say it is all practical. Samhita is theoretical. Samhita is the theory and the rest is all practice. They make a mess of the whole thing. Aranyakas and Brahmanas and Aranyakas and Upanishads are only a practice. Practical. It is called applied technology. Applied science. Applied science. So now, Samhita is the Veda, and that is put into practice is Brahmana, that is put into practice is Aranyaka, that is put into practice is Upanishad. This is how they say. And they don't accept the Upanishads as different from the rest. For them, Veda means only Samhita. For Arya Samaja, Veda means only Samhita. They only give lip sympathy to Brahmanas, Aranyakas and Upanishads. That is why they don't perform rituals, They have only one ritual in the morning. A few mantras they collect. Yahan se, wahan se, wahan se, wahan se. And then they chant some mantras and then put some ahuti, and then that is all ritual. Peculiar way of chanting. What about the millions, thousands of rituals they are there? Unko kaun batayenge? Who is going to perform them? That means for you, you have taken up only a small ritual. What about the other rituals? Hundreds and thousands of them. What about those worships? They don't look into them. What about the upasanas? What about Vedanta? No. Only there is prashamsa of devatas. Prashamsa of Ishvara is devatas. That is all Samhita, is all prashamsa, arthavada. ऐसा नहीं है. Samhitas, Brahmanas, and then what we call Aranyakas and Upanishads, we cannot look at them as theory and practice. We can divide them into Karma Kanda and right up to Brahmanas, right up to Aranyakas, it is all Karma Kanda. Then the Upanishads. Upanishads come under Jnana Kanda. All that is in the form of karma, all that is in the form of karma is karma. All the rituals come under karma. And all the upasanas also come under karma. And then there is something called understanding, called Upanishads. Upanishads don't deal with your karma. Upanishads don't deal with rituals. They don't deal with also upasanas. Even if they deal with certain upasanas, they are all not for the sake of phala. They are only for chitta shuddhi. Certain meditations, certain upasanas, certain meditations which are dealt with by the Upanishads, they are not meant for any phalam, meant for only chitta shuddhi. Thus, broadly we can divide the Veda into Karmakanda and Jnanakanda. When you look at this Karmakanda and Jnanakanda, their students are different, the seekers are different. One is a student of Karmakanda, the other is a student of Jnanakanda. And there is difference of subject matter. The subject matter of Karmakanda is different from the subject matter of Upanishads. The sambandha, that is a relationship, kind of relationship which we will see, is different there and different here. And the result of Karmakanda is different. What you can gain through Karmakanda is different from what we can gain through Vedanta. This is what is called Anubandha Chatushtayam. It is called Anubandha Chatushtayam. What is this Anubandha Chatushtayam from? It is very tough, these two words, bahut mushkil hota. Anubandha Chatushtayam means simply you can understand this much. The four factors which distinguish Karmakanda from Upanishads. Understand, you know? There are four factors which distinguish Karmakanda from Jnanakanda. They are called Anubandha Chatushtayas. They are called, number one is Vishayaha, subject matter. The subject matter. In the matter of subject matter, they are different. I mean, the subject matter is different. One is Vishayaha. The second is Adhikari. Adhikari means the one who is an Adhikari for Karmakanda is not the Adhikari for Jnanakanda, and the one who is Adhikari for Jnanakanda cannot be Adhikari for Karmakanda. There is a virodha. दोनों पढ़ सकते हैं, नहीं होगा. मैं ज्ञानकांड को कर्मकांड को दोनों भी पढ़ूंगा, दोनों नहीं पढ़ेंगे. If you are doing both, then you are doing some third thing, neither of them. Therefore, it is not really दोनों नहीं पढ़ सकते. Then there is a third thing called sambandha. Sambandha means between the Jnanakanda and the subject matter. You know, that Karmakanda and the subject matter and the Jnanakanda and the subject matter. Like a ritual is there. What is the relationship between the ritual and heaven? Means and end. Is it not? Ritual is the means, heaven is the end. This is called means and end relationship. Called Sadhya Sadhana Sambandha. You understand what is really Sambandha, then we will come back to it. Sambandha means what? Relationship. Then the fourth is Phalam. Phalam means result. One is subject matter, second is Adhikari. One is subject matter, Vishayaha. The second is Adhikari, student. And the third is Sambandha. And the fourth is, what is the fourth? Phalam. You have to look at Jnanakanda, Karmakanda in these four respects. Compare them in these four respects. When you look at the subject matter of Karmakanda, it is totally different from the subject matter of Upanishads. So you can't club them. What is the subject matter of Karmakanda? The subject matter of Karmakanda is how to perform karma. The knowledge of karma, how to perform rituals. How to perform karma is what is taught. Is the subject matter in the morning, suppose somebody wants to learn cooking. Then you go to a person who teaches how to cook. What is the subject matter? Subject matter is to learn how to cook. To learn how to cook is the subject matter. To learn how to drive, to learn how to do this, how to do that, this is all called learning. Similarly, the Karmakanda teaches you as to how to perform rituals. That is what is called subject matter. It talks about the rituals and it talks about the ends also. It is okay. First, karma jnanam. It gives you karma jnana. Karma itself becomes the subject matter. Then what is the subject matter of the Vedanta Upanishads? Does it teach you karma? No, it doesn't teach you karma. If you had learned something, you will forget that also. If you come to Vedanta, थोड़ा बहुत संध्या वगैरह कुछ पढ़ा हो तो उसको भी भूल जाएंगे. यहाँ पर तो because you begin with the whole thing, you begin with an apashakuna note. Vedanta begins with an apashakuna note that everything is bhranti. You have value for so many things. You have value for karma, you have value for heaven, you have value for wealth, you have value for everything. The things you value so much, all of them are described with one sentence that everything is in Bhranti. It's an apashakuna note. And therefore you can't really go on having interest for them. But actually it is a real Shubhashakunam it is. Not apashakunam, but it is Shubhashakunam from one standpoint. But anyway, the subject matter of Vedanta is not karma, it talks that you are Brahma. It's totally different. You are Brahma. There the knowledge is given as to how to do, and here the knowledge is that I am already Brahma. Atma is Brahma is the subject matter in Vedanta. Is all of the subject matter? There it is doing, here it is knowing. Then the next is what? Adhikari. Who goes to Karma Kanda? The one who is interested in the results. The one who is interested in results. He is called Aviveki. Aviveki means what? The one who is interested in Vishayas. Vishaya Kami. Swarga Kami, Putra Kami, Vitta Kami. This is called Kami. You must be some Kami, otherwise why should you perform a ritual? You don't have to perform a karma. Do you ever perform a karma without being desirous of, without expectation, without a motive? No. You don't perform a karma without a motive. Similarly, here also, you don't perform a ritual without a motive. That motive makes you adhikari. So, who is an adhikari for karma kanda? The one who is either a swargakami, or vittakami, or lokakami, some kami. And who comes, that is adhikari, that makes him an adhikari. Then who is the student of Vedanta? Who is the student of Vedanta? Swargakami? Putrakami? Vittakami? No. He is the one who is viraktaha. He is a viveki and viraktaha. There he is aviveki and therefore he is saktaha. He is attached to things. He wants many things. He wants to achieve many things in this creation. Abhi bahut pana hai. He will be an adhikari for karmakand. Humko kuch nahi pana hai. There is nothing I can gain. I am not interested in the things. He is a viveki and therefore viraktaha. He becomes a student of Vedanta. So there is difference, there is opposition. This is the adhikar. Then comes the sambandha. The karma itself, when you perform the karma, the performance of the karma immediately does not give you knowledge. There is a time gap between karma and phalam. This is called sadhya sadhana bhava. Karma becomes the sadhanam and the phalam is the sadhyam. Between sadhanam and sadhyam, it may be 1,000 million years. There could be 1,000 million years between the sadhana and sadhya. There is a time gap. Between sadhanam and sadhyam there is a time gap. But in the Vedanta, between knowledge and moksha, between karma and sadhyam, between karma and phalam, there is sadhya sadhana bhavaha. And there is a time gap. And here, between jnanam and moksha, there is no time gap. As it is known, samsara comes to an end. But in the karmakanda, as it is performed, I get heaven. If that were true, nobody would perform karma. I tell you it. Karma everybody performs because he doesn't go immediately to heaven. Supposing it is like this, if he goes to heaven immediately, leaving this world and body, nobody would perform. Sarga Kameshti Yagam would not have been there. Therefore, there is always a time gap between karma and phalam, but there is no time gap between jnanam and moksha. This is what is called pratipadya, pratipadaka sambandham. There it is the means and end, here it is the revealer and the revealed. Vedanta reveals and Atma is revealed. Revealer and revealed revelation. That is called pratipadya, pratipadana. Between pratipadyam and pratipadana, there is no time. Between the sadhyam and sadhana, there is the sadhanam and sadhyam, there is a time. But between the revealer and the revealed, the fact and the means, between them there is no time. Between the I and the form, is there a time? You use the chakshu. The using the chakshu and knowing the form, is there time gap? No. Using the chakshu and knowing the form, there is no time gap. Similarly, using the Vedanta Pramana and knowing the Atma, there is no time gap. And after knowing the Atma and freedom from samsara also, there is no time gap. Pramana and Prameya, between the Pratipadakam and Pratipadyam, there is no time gap. Between the Pratipadanam, the knowledge, and the Moksha, there is no time gap. The time doesn't come into the picture in Vedanta. There is no niyama. Time is not a niyama. In all other karmas, time is a condition. आप कुछ भी कीजिए, कुछ time लगेगा. That is what happens in the karma. You you have the best soil, the best bija, and all good water, all really filtered water in which are cleanest water. Put the seed in your own bagicha. You have the best soil there, put the best seed there, and you are really putting the water also. You are really giving it water, the best water, which is used for drinking purposes. Cleanest water you pour. Will it germinate next day? Immediately? No. You do anything, time is a niyama. All ek niyat hai. Desha niyatatvam, kala niyatatvam is there in all sadhya sadhana bhava. You can't really put the seed in the stone and then make it germinate. A particular desha is necessary and some time is necessary in all the karmas. Therefore, in the sambandha between the karma and phalam is what is called sadhya, sadhana sambandha, and there is always a time gap. Is it clear? There is a difference. Knowing how to perform karma and to perform karma. Knowing how to perform karma need not be performing karma. You may know how to perform karma, but then you won't get phalam unless you perform. And after performing the karma itself does not mean gaining phalam. Knowing how to do does not mean doing. Knowing how to do does not mean doing. Doing does not mean gaining. There is a time gap between knowing to do and to do and to gain. There may be a gap between knowing to do and to do. There is a time gap between doing and gaining. There is a time gap. Sometimes between doing and gaining the phalam, the gap is too much, means shata sahasra koti varshas. Sahasra koti varshas. Not varsha. Shata sahasra koti yuga paryantam. Shata sahasra koti yuga paryantam. Naishkarmi siddhi aata hai na in the beginning. The gap could be shata means 100, koti means crore, sahasra means 1,000, koti means a crore, 100,000 crores. It is not 100 because shata in the samasa it need not be ekavachanam, it could be bahuvachanam. Hundreds of thousands of crores of yugas, not years. Hundreds of thousands of crores of yugas. Now next question is whose yuga? Brahmaji's yuga or your yuga? So it can be taken as any yuga. That means what? Uska koi niyam nahi. Time is there. Could be next year itself. So thus there is sadhya sadhana sambandha. And in Vedanta there is no sadhya sadhana sambandha. Well, using pramana itself is knowing vastu. Knowing vastu itself is gaining moksha. That time factor does not play a role in Vedanta. Time is not a niyati in Vedanta, please. There is no such thing, itna time tak jnana ho jayega. Aisa nahi. Time doesn't play a role. Now, a person, you come to know the form, in how long will you take to know the form? Do you know the form through time or do you know the form through chakshu? You know the form through chakshu. Praman ko prayog kiya, jnana aa gaya bas. Vastu tantram jnanam, not really any purusha tantram, it is all based upon any action. Thus there is difference in the sambandha and there is a difference in the phala. Through karma we get the phalam within the creation and through Vedanta the phalam we get moksha. Thus in the matter of Vishaya, Adhikari, Sambandha and phalam, there is difference between karma kana and jnana kana. Therefore there is nothing, no connection between the two. They are two different things. That is Vedanta. We will see more of it later. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Shri Guru Ejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahaihi Om Shanti 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 Dismati Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Mavekatavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakatav Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrottram Atho Balamindriyani cha sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranamastva Nirakaranam me astu Tadatmani Nirateya Upanishatsu Dharmas Temayi Santu Temayi Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we saw that the Veda is Apaurusheya Pramanam. It is Apaurusheya Pramanam because it is a Pramanam that talks about something which is not available for Purusha Pramanas. The means of knowledge that we have with us, they are called Paurusheya Pramanas. And Veda is not a means of knowledge which is stuck to Jiva. It is outside Jiva. And it deals with the karma and it deals with the Atma, Brahma, how Atma is Brahma. Jagat Karanam Brahma. So, the sense organs that man has cannot find out the Jagat Karanam. They are only meant to see what is in Jagat, but they are not meant to see what is Jagat Karanam. The truth of Jagat they can't see. Therefore, Veda is the Pramanam. Veda talks about the Jagat Karanam. Veda also talks about Jiva being Brahma. How Jiva is Brahman. Jiva is not Jiva. Jiva is Brahma, Param Brahma. This is also revealed by Shruti. And then the Adrishtam Karma, that is also revealed by the Veda. How a given action takes to a given result, how a given karma takes to a given phalam, that is called Sadhya Sadhana Bhava, means and end. Which means takes to which end. That is called Sadhya Sadhana Bhava. I don't know really which karma takes to which phalam. So Veda reveals there are karmas which lead to phalam. If it is punya karma, leads to sukham. This karma leads to, like, this is a karma that leads to putra. This is a karma that leads to vitta. This is a karma that leads to swarga. This is a karma that leads to pitriloka. Like this, really, each ritual is connected to its own result, and how it is connected to its own result, we don't know. The logic that is there, like, in empirical, if you really, if you try to sink a well, then you get some water. If you want water from underground, then by digging out, by sinking, you get the water. If you go underground, you will get water. So that means what? By making effort in this direction, I get this result. If I have to raise a crop, I have to till the land, I have to sow the seeds, I have to water it. All that that means you know what you have to do when you want a result. So the means and end, the bhava, the connection between the end and the means within this world is known. But the connection between the rituals and ends is not known. And that is shown by Veda. Thus, Veda is Apaurushaya Pramanam. We are not interested in rituals or its results. Mainly as the Brahma Jignasus, you are all the students of Vedanta. You are interested only in knowing what you are. Without knowing what you are, even if you perform all the rituals, you will be within the creation. You will be wandering somewhere. After this body may go to Pitriloka or Swargaloka or some other realm of perception. One realm of perception can be replaced by another realm of perception. There is nothing impossible about it. So, even though one performs all the karmas, but still the problem is not solved, one will be jiva. As a wanderer within creation, what is oneself? Is a jiva. Only as a jiva one will be wandering within creation. Within Bhranti one will be wandering. But it may be attractive realm. You go to Indraloka and remain for a few years and come back. Then that perception will be replaced by another perception. Like this waking perception is replaced by dream. Dream is replaced by again waking. Similarly, after death, this perception will be replaced by another realm of perception where, without any reference to the past, that I had this perception, waking perception, I was in Delhi, in India and all that, there will be no reference to it. Then you will be in another realm of perception where your people will be different, sambandha will be different, and the place will be different, pursuits will be different, everything will be different. But it's all wandering within creation, wandering within Brahman. Therefore, being the students of Vedanta, you are interested only in Ved. Interest only in Vedanta, that is called Brahma Vidya, to know yourself. And that self-knowledge, that Brahma Vidya is given by Vedanta. The Purva Bhaga is Karmakanda, the later is Vedanta. That Vedanta is otherwise called Upanishad. It is called Vedanta because, all this I have told so many times, but still you have to, for some new students. Vedanta means what? The last Bhaga, Antima Bhaga. The last portion of Veda is called, the last portion of the Veda is called Vedanta. Vedanta does not mean the last page. Vedanta does not mean the last page. Vedanta means the last page physically, nahi, the last topic. The last topic of Vedanta, Veda is Vedanta. Like Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Vedanta. It is called Upanishad. That word also you can see. What is Upanishad? What do you mean by the word Upanishad? Why is Vedanta called Upanishad? Because you have been studying Vedanta, you know. Some people may ask a question. What do you mean by Vedanta and what is it, why is it called Upanishad? It's called Vedanta because it is the last topic within Veda. Why it is the last topic? Because after this topic, can you think of another topic? No. You can't think of another topic after Vedanta because it tells the final, it gives the final message about yourself. After this message, you have no other message to listen to or to understand. So the final topic is I am Brahma. That is the final knowledge about myself and the universe. There is no more knowledge afterwards. That is why it is called Vedanta, the final topic in Veda. It is called Upanishad because Upanishad is derived from the dhatu, Shaldra dhatu. You can take it as Sad dhatu. Sat. It's called Shaldra and Yit. After Illopa, it becomes Sat. Shaldra dhatu. So that is, Sat means is a dhatu. Dhatu means, you know, a root. Sat is a dhatu which means Visharana Gati Avasadana. Visharana Gati Avasadanarthasya Sader Dhatoho Visharana Gati Avasadanarthasya Upani Purvasya Kvipratyantasya Rupam Upanishad. Upanishad is a Rupam. How you get it? It is formed of Saddhatu, Sader Dhatoho. What is the meaning of the Dhatu Sat? Visharana Gati Avasadana. Visharana means wearing out, destruction. Destruction is called Visharana. Gati means knowing. Avasadana means destruction. There are two destructions. Visharana means destruction. Knowing means, Gati means knowing. Avasadana means also destruction. Meaning, there are two things which are destroyed and one thing that is known as it was. And that is, like when you see the Rajju Sarpa, when you mistake the rope for snake, you destroy the rope, you destroy the Bhranti. When you know the rope. When you know the rope, okay? So what is known? Rope is known. Then what is destroyed? Bhranti about the rope is destroyed. When the Bhranti about the rope is destroyed, that is Sarpa is destroyed, Sarpa Bhranti is destroyed, then what is born of Sarpa Bhranti called fear, Dukkha? That is also destroyed. Is it clear? One is Sarpa Bhranti is destroyed, the other is the sorrow born of Sarpa Bhranti is destroyed. Similarly here also, what is known is Brahma, what is known is my Swarupam. I come to know Atma as it is. Atma as it is known. As a result, the Bhranti about Atma is destroyed. When the Bhranti about Atma is destroyed, then in the Bhranti whatever samsara was is also destroyed. Is it clear? Two things destroyed. One is Bhranti is destroyed, and by destroying the Bhranti, samsara is destroyed. That means where is samsara? Within Bhranti. Within Bhranti. By way of destroying the Bhranti, you destroy the samsara. And how do you destroy the Bhranti? By knowing Atma as it is. By knowing the thing as it is, like rope, Sarpa Bhranti is destroyed. When Sarpa Bhranti is destroyed, the samsara within the Sarpa Bhranti is destroyed. So thus how many destructions? Two and one knowledge. In fact, all of them mean one and the same. When you know the rope, in that itself is Sarpa gone, in that itself is fear is gone, that itself is knowledge, that itself is destruction. Thus, knowing the Atma itself means getting out of Bhranti, and getting out of Bhranti itself means getting out of samsara. It is all one phenomenon, one knowledge. Clear? That is the meaning of Sadhatu, Visharana, Gati, Avasadana. These are the three meanings of Sat. Then there are two prepositions. There are two prepositions, Upa and Ni. And the last word is Sat. And Sat means, all these three meanings, means it is something. Sat has got the meaning of knowing and destroying. And there are two prepositions called Upa and Ni. Ni means it gives knowledge which has no negation. Nishchayartha. It is in the sense of Nishchaya Jnanam. Ni is Nishchayartha. What kind of knowledge does it give? It's definite, it's final. Abhadita Jnanam. It gives definite knowledge. And there is another preposition called Upa, means it is always received from a teacher. Upa means Samipe. Upa means Samipa. Samipa means closeness. Here it does not mean physical closeness. हमेशा 24 घंटा गुरुजी के सामने बैठ के सुनते रहना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं. Means what? It is something that comes from outside. This is something that is not my pramana. It has to come from the teacher, in whose mind is the pramana. Vedanta, where is Vedanta? We saw in the first class what is the primary meaning of Vedanta. Primary meaning of Vedanta? Brahma Vidya, knowledge. Knowledge of the truth is called Vedanta. Upanishad means the knowledge. And that knowledge has to come to me, has to be communicated to me. Does the book communicate or the teacher? The teacher has to communicate. Therefore, it is always communicated by teacher. That it is always communicated by teacher who knows the pramanam. It is not his own invention. The teacher does not mean that it is his own invention. In fact, what he teaches doesn't belong to him. It belongs to Shruti Pramana. And unfortunately, the Shruti cannot communicate itself. Shruti cannot communicate itself. It is dumb. A word written is dumb. But a word has to be communicated, needs to be explained. Therefore, Vedanta Jnanam, that knowledge, does it exist in the book? Does knowledge exist in the book? No. Knowledge is in the person. Knowledge is in the teacher. That vision is communicated with the help of the words. When you communicate some vision, you have to use words. Therefore, those words become Those words become the pramana, a means to communicate. The words become the means to communicate, and what you communicate is knowledge. What you communicate is the vision. How Atma is Brahma, this is what is communicated. And by what do you communicate? With the help of what do you communicate? Words. So the words become pramanam. The words become pramanam. And what you communicate is the knowledge. It is that knowledge that is called Upanishad. The primary meaning of the word Upanishad is that knowledge, and the words help me to communicate that knowledge. Therefore the words also are called Upanishad. That is the secondary meaning. Do you follow the point? The knowledge that is communicated is called Upanishad. That is the primary meaning. And with the help of the words I communicate the vision. Because the words help me to communicate, the words also are called Upanishad. What is this is primary meaning or secondary meaning? Secondary meaning. The secondary meaning of the Upanishad is the words, the grantha, the book, whereas the knowledge is called Upanishad. That is the primary meaning. Therefore here in Upanishad, Sat means that which destroys, that which destroys Bhranti, that which destroys Sansara, and that which communicates Atma. Okay? That knowledge. And then it is a definite knowledge. This Upadesha gives definite knowledge. That it gives definite knowledge is conveyed by which word? Ni. Ni is a word, Ni is an Upasarga. Ni is an Upasarga which tells that it gives definite knowledge. Definite knowledge means unnegatable knowledge. Then there is a word Upa. It tells that this knowledge has to come to me through Upadesha from a teacher. That means what? Upanishad means Upadesha, which about Atma, which Upadesha gives a definite knowledge about Atma, and which Upadesha, having given the definite knowledge about Atma, destroys the Bhranti about Atma, and by destroying the Bhranti about Atma, it destroys the Sansara. It is an Upadesha that comes from a teacher which destroys Bhranti, Sansara, and gives me the knowledge about Atma, definite knowledge about Atma. This is called Upanishad. Therefore, the primary meaning, actually what is, it is the knowledge that destroys the Bhranti. It is the knowledge that destroys the Sansara. Therefore, it is that knowledge that is called Upanishad, and it is that knowledge that is communicated through words. Therefore, words also are called Upanishad. Therefore, to know Upanishad means what? Suppose somebody says, I know Upanishad. What should he have? If he says, I have Upanishad, I know Upanishad, what should he have? He should have knowledge. Then he can say, I know Upanishad. If he has read Upanishad and doesn't know the topic of it, then he only knows the words, not the theme, not the vision. Not the vision. The words one studies, the words one listens, the words one thinks only to understand the Vastu. That Vastu is important. In the knowledge of which Vastu, all the words become unimportant, become resolved. That is Upanishad. Now, we are going to begin this Upanishad, Keno Upanishad. There are two types of Bhashya. One is called Padabhashya, the other is called Vakya Bhashya. We'll just see Padabhashyam for some time, then we'll go to Vakya Bhashya. Padabhashya means, Shankara deals with word-to-word commentary. Then there is Purvapaksh Siddhantam. Like Gita, He writes a word, he takes up and gives the meaning, and another word he takes up, gives the meaning, and then having given the meaning of all the words in a sentence, then he explains the meaning of the whole sentence. Padartham, bhavartham. Must have studied, padartham and then bhavartham. This is what is called padabhashyam. Simple commentary. There is Vakya Bhashyam in which the Siddhantam is brought out by the way of Purvak Siddhantam. You create objections, you raise objections, and then you answer them, called Vichara. Vakya Bhashyam means what? Vichara. Are you able to follow? Padabhashyam means simple commentary upon word and sentences. Vakya Bhashyam means it is enquiry into the topic. It is enquiry. It is vichara about the topic. You go into the topic, leaving the words and everything. You go into the topic and bring out the Siddhantam. Clear? That first we will go into Padabhashyam. Om Namah Shivaya. Keneshitam ityadya Upanishad Parabrahma Vishaya Vaktavya iti Navamasya Adhyayasya Arambha. It is the 9th Adhyaya.